The Social Security Administration has officially confirmed that millions of Americans will see a long-awaited boost to their monthly checks in 2026. Social Security retirement benefits are set to rise by about $56 per month on average, thanks to a 2.8% cost of living adjustment, commonly known as COLA. This adjustment, while modest, represents a critical effort to help beneficiaries keep up with the rising cost of living across the United States in a time when inflation continues to impact the price of essentials like food, housing, healthcare, and utilities. This increase could provide a small yet meaningful cushion for seniors who rely on these benefits to survive each month. Welcome to Truth Lens, where we dive deep into the issues that affect real Americans, the workers, the retirees, and the millions of seniors who built this nation through decades of hard work and dedication. Here, we strip away the headlines and focus on what really matters, how these policy changes impact people's lives. And for those living on Social Security, this latest COLA increase is more than just a statistic. It's a reflection of the ongoing struggle many older Americans face every single day as they try to keep up with an economy that's moving faster than their benefits can adjust. The 2.8% COLA increase will officially take effect in January 2026, marking the largest adjustment in 2 years. According to reports from the Social Security Administration, the purpose of the annual COLA is to ensure that Social Security and Supplemental Security Income SSDI benefits maintain their purchasing power as the cost of living continues to climb. The adjustment is tied directly to inflation and calculated using the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPIW. Essentially, the SSA compares the average CPIW figures from July, August, and September of 1 year to those same months in the previous year. If prices have gone up, so do the benefits. Though often not at the same pace as the actual expenses seniors are facing in their daily lives. This upcoming 2.8% increase will affect roughly 75 million Americans, a number that includes retirees, individuals with disabilities receiving Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, and recipients of Supplemental Security Income, SSI. The COLA ensures that payments don't stagnate in the face of inflation, which as of now sits near 3%. For many seniors, this increase can make a difference in paying for essentials like prescription medications, groceries, or rising energy bills during the colder months. But even with this adjustment, millions of elderly Americans continue to live with financial uncertainty, caught between fixed incomes and ever-increasing expenses. The average retiree will see their monthly payment rise by about $56, increasing from roughly $2,008 to $2,064 starting in January 2026. While this may appear to be a small amount, it carries significant weight for those depending solely on their Social Security checks. According to the AARP, Social Security remains the primary source of income for nearly 40% of older Americans, meaning that for many, it's not just supplemental, it's essential. These are men and women who have spent decades contributing to the system with the promise that Social Security would stand as a safeguard in their later years. Over the past 2 decades, the average COLA increase has hovered around 2.6%. According to data from the Senior Citizens League, making this 2.8% adjustment slightly above the long-term average. For context, the 2025 increase was just 2.5%, reflecting a small but steady upward trend in the effort to keep benefits aligned with inflation. The adjustment may be modest, but it is part of a broader effort to maintain the integrity of a program that currently supports about 1 in every 5 Americans. SSA Commissioner Frank J. Bisignano reaffirmed this commitment in a recent statement, saying that Social Security is a promise kept, and the annual cost of living adjustment is one way We are working to make sure benefits reflect today's economic realities and continue to provide a foundation of security. His words carry weight, especially for the millions of seniors who depend on these benefits as their primary or only source of income. But behind that promise lies a stark reality. Across the United States, seniors are grappling with rising living costs that far exceed their monthly increases. Housing expenses, particularly rent, have soared in many cities. Medical costs continue to climb, with out-of-pocket expenses for prescription drugs, doctor visits, and specialized care becoming an increasing burden. Groceries, utilities, and transportation, all basic necessities, have risen steadily in price. For older Americans living on a fixed income, every dollar counts, and a $56 monthly increase, while welcome, often vanishes quickly in the face of such growing expenses. For millions of seniors, the Social Security check that arrives each month is not just a deposit, it's their lifeline. According to national statistics, nearly 12% of adults over the age of 65 live below the poverty line, and without Social Security, that number would skyrocket. The program has lifted millions of older Americans out of poverty, but many still find themselves struggling to make ends meet. In communities across the country, seniors are cutting back on essentials, skipping meals, or delaying medical care just to stretch their monthly checks a little further. The COLA adjustment for 2026 serves as a reminder of how critical these benefits are and how deeply they shape the lives of those who depend on them. Every increase, no matter how small, helps retirees preserve some level of financial stability. For a widow living alone on a modest fixed income, that extra money can mean keeping the heat on through the winter or affording the medication her doctor prescribed. For a disabled worker who can no longer earn an income, the adjustment helps offset the basic costs of living that keep rising year after year. The COLA is not determined by politics or policy debates. It's rooted in math and economics. When inflation rises, the SSA adjusts benefits so they don't lose value over time. However, for many seniors, inflation hits harder than the official numbers suggest. The Consumer Price Index used to measure inflation reflects general consumer spending, but doesn't always capture the unique financial pressures seniors face, especially in healthcare and housing. As a result, while COLA helps, it doesn't always fully match the real-world cost increases retirees experience. As we move into 2026, this adjustment underscores the ongoing challenges faced by America's aging population. The number of retirees relying on Social Security continues to grow as baby boomers age into the system. Meanwhile, discussions around the long-term sustainability of Social Security persist as the program faces increasing strain from demographic shifts and funding imbalances. Despite these concerns, the promise remains for those who worked, contributed, and built their futures around the assurance of Social Security. The system continues to deliver on its pledge of financial support in retirement. For the millions of older Americans trying to stretch every dollar, the 2.8% increase is a modest but essential step toward maintaining dignity and independence. It's a reflection of a program that still stands as one of the strongest anti-poverty measures in American history, one that continues to make the difference between stability and the hardship for seniors across the nation. At Truth Lens, we aim to shine a light on these critical developments, providing a clear and honest look at how changes in Social Security affect real people. The seniors who spent decades working, raising families, and contributing to society, and who now depend on these benefits to live with security and respect. The Social Security COLA increase for 2026 is a reminder that the system, though imperfect, remains vital. It continues to deliver hope and stability to millions who rely on it, especially those who face daily struggles just to afford life's basic necessities. As the new year approaches and payments begin reflecting the 2.8% increase, seniors across America will once again witness the impact of a program designed to safeguard their well-being. For many, the adjustment will offer a small measure of relief, a few more dollars to manage the costs of daily life in an ever-changing economy. And while challenges remain, the Social Security promise endures: one check, one adjustment, and 1 month at a time.